Hi there, this is Luisa Heinzel. Welcome to my channel Junk Journal Art and welcome to another 5 items swap. Yeah, I'm really excited and yeah, as you can see, I've stained my fingers again, so probably this will fit to the project that I'm doing here today. I don't know. And I used some distress oxides and some other inks and haven't thought about that. I have to record a video, so please excuse, this is only ink, not what you can probably think about this color. This beautiful thing here comes from Francesca from Italy, and she has sent me some things here. So in this envelope, so this is the big envelope where the several things were in, there were some happy mail and the items for the challenge. And look at this beautiful envelope. This is so cool. I just wanted to show you that, even if I am not allowed to use this for the challenge, but this is so cool. She has sewn so many different materials together here. Here's some lace, some paper doily, some fabric and that stuff. And I'm really excited about this thing because this is such a great idea. So I just wanted to show you that and share that with you if you perhaps want to take this as an inspiration for your own envelopes. This is so cool. Yeah, so I have to put this aside because I'm not allowed to use that. Here are the items for the challenge in this envelope with this beautiful wax seal here on top. And here's a little note that says for the challenge, and it says, "Hello Luisa, someone told me that you like pink. Enjoy, Francesca." If you are probably new here on my channel, you can see this little smiley here. That means she's kidding me. So obviously I'm hating pink. And I'm really nervous what's inside here and what I can do with these things. Okay, so let's see what's inside of this envelope. So the first thing that we have here is obviously a book page that's written in Italian. That's really cool. And I just realized that I can read some single words here, and I'm a little bit proud of mine. So I think I can understand the Italian language. Yeah, when the people speak slowly, then I can understand a lot. But to speak this language is really difficult for me. So yeah. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Okay, so what is this? So I expected 5 items. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so probably 5 in Italian means something different than in Austria. I don't know, but am I allowed to use this as well? So I don't know. So let's see what we have here. Oh god, okay. That's definitely really challenging. So this is, I think, some kind of resin. That looks really interesting, even if it's pink. But these other colors, look at this combination. This is really gorgeous. I don't know if Francesca made this by herself. Francesca, did you make this here by yourself? This is really awesome. So both sides are really awesome. Here we have this golden thing here. But I think that this is the front side, because here these edges are really smooth compared to these here on the back side. And I'm really not sure how I can attach this somewhere. Okay, so let's see. Then we have some flowers, and I think I have to take out my Mod Podge or something to, yeah, you know, make them durable. Some sari silk, obviously, in pink. In the camera it looks not such pink like in reality, so that's strange. And then we have some blossoms here. I'm just thinking about some kind of a shaker card, but here is no acetate, is that the right word? This plastic foil included, so I'm not allowed to use anything else that's in here. So This is not, yeah, you can't see through this thing. So let's put this aside. Then we have this beautiful, this beautiful napkin. Okay. So this will go totally out of my box. I know that. Some, I think, avocado dyed paper. This looks not so pink in the camera like in reality. So this is really challenging. And then we have, oh, what's that? Okay, so this is obviously from a music book for children. Cantuccio dei Bambini. Sei bozzetti facili per pianoforte di Ettore Montanaro. Okay, so this is blue. This is blue and we have pink. Oh my goodness. And we have this. Okay, so let's see the backside. Oh, the backside is black and white. Oh, yeah, white. It is not white, but you know, this beige color. That would probably be something that could work with the other colors. Okay, so now I definitely have to take a break, take some coffee and think about what to do with these items. So I think that this is definitely one of the hardest swap challenges that I've ever had, because until now I don't know what I want to do. I think, yeah, to make a junk journal page out of this, for that it's too much material. So I mean, this is really big, this music paper is really big, the book page also, this avocado sorry, avocado dyed paper as well. I think to make a double spread it's way too much material. And I'm wondering if I may use this, because if yes, I'm thinking about making a mini journal out of this. Don't know if we will have enough pages, but I don't know if I'm allowed to use this, but I think so, because this was all together and she has written for the challenge. So that means this is for the challenge as well. And yeah, why not using it? So these are several papers here, so that I could cut them here to make some more pages, save this thing, perhaps for the cover as well. Here. And the size of this paper, arg. That's the wrong size, Francesca. So here we could make 2 smaller pages. If I would cut that like so, we could make 4 more, and this thing could be a page as well. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and we could make this some kind of stiff, so that we probably could have about, yeah, don't know if that is nice, because this is so cool around here. So if you look at this like so, you can imagine how thick such a journal could be. I mean, one signature would be perfect for this kind of cover, but I think we will not get enough papers here. Oh, I wish I could take something from her Happy Mail and include that here. I have to think about that. Yeah, so after a little coffee break with 2 or 3 coffees for me, I had an idea. So first of all, I removed this wax seal and this little thread that was on top of this thinner paper. And then I decided that I want to have a cover size that's, yeah, the proportions are like a traveler's notebook. Of course, that's not the right measurements of a traveler's notebook. This kind of journal has a very special, measurement, but I wanted to have it in this slim and long size. First of all, I tried to remove the most of this thin paper, but in a way that it's, not teared, not too much like, these scrappy things, because I've planned that I want to use these papers later to decorate the journal. Sounds a little bit crazy because this paper is white, but please wait. I think I found a really cool solution for this. To have something like a sturdy spine, I decided to fold this thing there where the paper doily, where the half of the paper doily is, and I folded the right part back to the inside to make that thing a little bit more sturdy. On the left side, it was still a little bit flimsy, so I decided to use the top layer of the napkin and glue that down to the left side of this cover thingy. I used some Mod Podge, and this time I used my new antique Mod Podge. That's, the gluing thing is the same like normal Mod Podge, but it dries a little bit more beige, more antique, some kind of vintage. I glued the napkin not totally flat, not only because it's a really big thing for me to glue napkins in a really beautiful way and flat, but also because in this little bit crumbled way, the page or this cover thing gets much more sturdy than when the napkin is glued flat. So that was the plan. Here I'm drying this with my heat gun. Mod Podge is a really lovely thing because it dries so fast and it's really easy to handle, especially if you want to use your heat gun to dry it. So I was really happy. Then I went to my sewing machine and went around this whole thing with a zigzag stitch. I've chosen a really narrow stitching on my machine settings because this narrow stitching makes the frame of this cover much more sturdy than a stitching that's more far away from each other. Hopefully that makes sense. Then I folded it like it will be in the end so that I can see where this spine will be, and used some Distress Oxide Vintage Photo to distress this thing. Here I was really shy and really, some kind of afraid to distress this because I knew that I only had this one chance. But then I got a little bit more into this creative flow, and as you can see, I spritzed some water and then I used my brush to go over the ink. And of course, when your brush is a little bit wet, then it gets a totally different effect with the Distress Oxide than when it's dry. And then I came to a really crazy idea that I tried the other day. I spritzed some water to my brush. So why am I saying brush? It's not a brush, it's this. Is that brush as well? I don't know, you know what I mean. This tool to distress. Oh, I'm so excited about this outcome of this thing that I don't know the words. I think it's brush as well. But you can see it in the frame. Look at this. This looks rusty. This looks so interesting. It looks so old and vintage. And you've probably, have problems to get such a result if you want to plan it or, think about it. So I tried to get out the most of the ink out of this little tool there, and with the second layer of the napkin I took a little bit off of this what was too much, and I was in this creative flow, and I was something like this feeling that you know from your childhood, just playing and seeing what's happening, so that I went over the most of the inside of the cover with this thing as well, and I think it turned out really, really nice. And in the next step I tried to get some pages out of the material that Francesca has sent me. And I tried to, yeah, fold the pages to the right size, and I tried to get the most possible pages out of the material. So, by the way, if you want to know what Francesca has done with the items that I have sent to her, then please visit her channel. She has also a video online today. The link is down below in the description box if you want to know what she has created. I'm really excited. I can tell you, I'm so excited what she has done because, yeah, of course, when I'm recording this video, I haven't seen her video. So that's not possible because of, you know, time and that stuff, planning your YouTube stuff. And I think she will come up with really, really crazy and creative things as always. She's such an amazing artist, and she does the most amazing things. I'm always so impressed and so inspired by her artwork. So please visit her channel, and if you haven't yet, please subscribe to her channel if you like what she is doing, what she does, you know. Oh, this grammar. Okay, so here we have the pages. And for the first page, I've decided that I want to include Francesca's note to this first page. So, yeah, in reality, these are two pieces of paper. So I clamped that together with a paper clip so that I have the right height. And then I could include all the other pages into this signature. I also used some smaller pieces of paper, as you could see a second ago, so that the signature gets more interest. And look at this. This is already really, really thick. And later on you will see this will become a real junk journal. Even if there were so, yeah, only a few materials. But this process, it was, I have no words. It was so incredible for me. It was, yeah, such an amazing experience that was, yeah, totally strange, but in a positive way strange. I thought about to make the spine a little bit more sturdy by putting a piece of the sari silk along the spine, but then I decided that I want to have this thing as a closure for the journal later. I think that looks much more harmonious when this sari silk goes around the shorter side of the journal. Do you know what I mean? I think so. So I tried out how this would look if this resin thing would be some kind of an embellishment on top of the sari silk. Until that point, I had no idea how to bring that together. I mean, how to glue it or something like that. But I had some illusions in my mind. So I thought, go on, and later on you will find perhaps a solution how to do that. And I played around a little bit with this wax seal in combination with this resin thing. Try to get rid of this little threads there, because that was really thick on the back side of this wax seal. And yeah, I tried out different things, different layering, and I was not so satisfied with what I had until now. But then I came to the idea to include this little dried flower that Francesca has sent. And when I put the flower there on top of this resin piece, I knew that this will be that what I want to have in the end. Really amazing. Really amazing experience. So to get this flower under this wax seal, it was not so easy. As you can see, it has its own mind. It it was doing what it wants to do. It was so strange. I wanted to have the end of the flower below the wax seal so that it's not visible, that it looks like this flower comes out of this wax seal. And I had no other chance than trying to dry this with my heat gun. I know, and I hear you screaming. Wax is melting, of course, when you use a heat gun. But I did it really carefully, and it was good that I used my heat gun, because I could melt, no, not melt, but I could heat up this wax seal in a really minimal way, so that I could bend it a little bit so that it has the same round surface like this resin piece. So now it is laying flat on top of the resin, and I could seal it with my Mod Podge. Yeah, really cool thing. Took a little bit of patience, but it worked. Then I thought, okay, let's include this dried purple flower. That would look really, really nice. But yeah, do you know those things that are telling you where they want to be? And this flower the whole time told me that this will not work. First of all, I haven't heard her voice, but then I decided to do what she wants and to take her into 2 pieces and only include a tinier piece of this flower to this whole embellishment thing. And that worked much better. And I think in the end it looked also much more beautiful. So you will see that in detail later in this video, of course. Yeah, so in the next step, I tried to get my signatures into the cover. For that, I've used this 3-hole pamphlet stitch. First of all, I made everything into place with some paper clips. Then I took a needle and went through the signature and the cover at the same time. It was not so easy to find the hole on the outside because of this lace doily there. But yeah, with a little bit of struggling, I could manage it. Normally, I would use a 6-hole, this binding method. But I think for this little journal, it's enough to have this 3 holes. And I was really happy that I only had to go through 3 holes. Oh my goodness, this TH. And not through 6 holes. Yeah, that was a really easy thing. So I think at this point, I have totally forgotten that the camera was recording. So sometimes I have, this feeling, oh, there's the camera, or perhaps I have something to say, or I have something to explain. And here I decided to record the video without speaking, just, letting my creativity do what she wants to do. That was really helpful for me, and that's also the reason why I make this voiceover. And yeah, the other reason is that this project took me, I think, 3 or 4 hours until it was totally finished, with all the drying times in between. Here you can see I use some Mod Podge. Of course, that takes a little bit of time. Even if you dry it with your heat gun, it takes a little bit time that it's not sticky anymore. And it was really a fun process. It was there was no second that was boring or that stuff. I have such feelings not so often. I mean, would you, if you would make a normal junk journal, I mean, how can I explain all those things that are going through my head? If you make a normal junk journal with all your supplies, with all the things from your stash, would you think about using this tissue paper and making some collage paper out of it? Probably, if you are doing that all the time or for every of your journals. But I think I would never have come to the idea to make this collage paper within a normal journal project. Probably we make collage paper and then put it into our stash and use it the other day. But would you make collage paper only for the journal that you're working on? I don't know. So that are some questions that are going through my head. There were so less things, but I got really many embellishments and that stuff together out of those few elements that I had, out of these few papers and the rest of the materials. So here, for example, I'm making a little tag out of the rest of this avocado dyed paper. I've stamped in the background. Then I took a really tiny piece of this music paper that was left over, and I put some of these lavender blossom pieces to this thing. Because they were so tiny, I really didn't know what I wanted to do with them, and then I came to the idea to put that to the tag. And believe it or not, this tag smells like lavender, even if the Mod Podge is on top of it. That's so amazing. That's really, really cool. And I think that turned out really cute. So yeah, I made a little pocket out of this tissue paper, and included this thread to the tag so that it looks like a real thread. And then I thought what to do with these dried flowers. And I have seen so often on Instagram or wherever, on Pinterest, those people who are making some little videos and they are having this, wax seal things, and they are keeping the memories of collecting some flowers in their journals by putting a wax seal on top of the flower. And I have seen that so often, and I've thought so often, Louise, do that and try that. That looks so beautiful. And to be honest, I've never done it until this day. I made this little journal, and that was so much fun. It was so much fun, and here you can see in the first try, I've not used my wax seal tool, but I used a ring that I've bought in Rome a few years ago. And because of the fact that Francesca comes from Rome, not from Rome, oh my goodness, from Italy as well. Sorry, I wanted to say she's not from Rome. She lives in the near of Venice, Venezia. What's the English word? It's Venezia in Italian. And because of that fact, I wanted to have the this pattern of my Italian ring as well. I felt really connected with her while using her materials and all these Italian stuff. It was really, really great. And yeah, perhaps my love for Italy and especially for Rome, but Italy in general. And this was again like a travel to Italy for me. These flowers, these music notes, the writing on the book page, and yeah, it must have been an Italian avocado that she used to dye that paper. So Italy is all over this journal on every page, and yeah, that was just so cool. So back to the journal. So here I decided that I want to use my wax seal tool, as you can see there, that has a little dragonfly on it. I only have this one thing, so I thought, okay, flowers, the butterflies, dragonflies, that all fits into this floral and natural theme. So yeah, I really didn't think about, oh my goodness, this theme for the journal. It was something like a feeling. There were so many things that this materials told me that I have to do. I really can't explain that. Yeah, so next I took some leftover of this tissue paper and I folded it, sewed around so that I have this little bag, and into this little bag I've put all those dried flowers, all the tiny pieces of this flowers. There were some petals and some of these tiny lavender things. I didn't really know how to include that to my page, but I thought if I do it like this, it could be really cool. You will see that later on in the video. After I have recorded this, I realized that a whole part of this video is missing. I don't know what my camera did, but my camera, didn't record some parts of my process here, but I will show you and tell you that later on there will be a little flip through of this thing, and then I will explain you what I did with this little bag with the dried flowers in it and some other details, because I punched some holes into the pages, and I'm really sad that my camera hasn't recorded that. Yeah, but I can't do anything. Can't turn the time back. Yeah, so here you can see me gluing some pieces of this napkin that I had left over. The napkin was really big, so I had really much things to play with. And that was a great thing as well, because look at this. It's a really cool, yeah, collage material. And you can bring something like a color bridge through the journal. And yeah, apropos color bridge, I used this thing here. So that's the second layer of the napkin. And I used that when I distressed the cover to get rid of some of this ink that was too much. And that are the colors that came out of this tool that I used for distressing. And this looks like rust to me. And this whole journal is some kind of rusty. I don't know. I saw many things in Italy that were rusty. I can't explain that in detail. That would take too much time. But Italy is also rust for me. I don't know. That's only my personal feeling. But I was so happy that I had this additional color. Yeah, additionally to this blue and the pink of the avocado dyed paper. So cool. Just so cool. So here I made a little banner as well. Of course, a junk journal needs a banner. And look how thick this whole thing is. That's so cool. I never expected that this will get so thick. Yeah, so then I have glued this little embellishment to the sari silk, and to make sure that it can stay there, I put a little paper of this white tissue paper on the back side, added some Mod Podge, so now it's really, really secure there, and yeah, it, I think, will last a long time. I distressed the sari silk as well to get rid of this pink, Francesca, pink! Only a joke, of course. And then I wrapped this around here and tried to figure out how's the best way to close this. And then I decided that I want to have this closure on the back side. I mean, yeah, so so cool. And then I originally wanted to make the flip through, but then I realized that I have this little thing. And first of all, I thought that I could make something like a tassel or that stuff. But then I thought, no, that's too much for the outside. So I just included it here with my stapler to this first page where Francesca's handwriting is. And yeah, she put this thing together with this thread with her own hands, and she wrote her name and yeah, her words with her handwriting. That was something that fits to each other for me. There was some sari silk left over. I was such a happy girl, so I could make some page tabs in the end of my process. And yeah, in that moment, this journal was, yeah, such a treasure. It's so cool. Look how cute this looks with this little page tabs. Oh, I'm so happy. I can't tell you how happy I am about this journal. Okay, so let's make a little flip through, and let me tell you something about what I did when the camera was not recording. So I used my wet, really, really wet distress tool and went around the pages to give them this brown frame. You can see that around the pages there's really much of this brown, and here on the right side you can also see I've just went over this. And here on the left side, some marks here and there. And I also punched out some holes out of the pages. You will see the holes in a second. Here on the right hand side, you can see the this half circle. Oh, yeah. And now on, I'm too slow. On the left side, you can see the hole. Here on the right side, you can see the hole. I did that to get more interest, of course, to the page, to let the wax seal to be shown through. But I also, this way, had more material to embellish the rest of the pages. So that will make sense in a second. Look here, I've punched those 5 holes out of the music paper, used it as a stencil on this page, and the other one, you can see this brown marks. And here on the left side, I've glued the 3 circles back to the page, so I had a new embellishment. Yeah. I think that's a cool trick. I am so hoping that you are the same in love with this journal as I am. It's so cool, and I would like to encourage you to try this out. please go to your stash, grab only a few items, and perhaps items that don't fit to each other, that don't match each other, and try to make such a mini journal out of it. Don't think about what you grab, or ask your husband or your sister or your neighbor or whatever, whoever, to grab you some items from your stash and try this out. Please do that. So of course I'm not someone who can tell you what you have to do, but please do it. Just do it. It's so cute and I'm so in love. So thank you, Francesca, so much for this challenge. Thank you so much. Bye bye.